At its simplest, a twice-baked potato is a creamy and buttery and cheesy blend of smashed potatoes cradled in a crisp, tasty potato skin. For me, a twice-baked potato seems kind of fancy and festive and special. Stay with me, and I'll show you my favorite twice-baked potato and how to freeze them for a quick and easy side dish that pairs perfectly with a steak, pork chop, chicken breast, or salmon, and could even be enjoyed a la carte. I'm serving today's twice-baked potatoes with lamb loin chops and rosemary garlic gravy. So let's get going. Okay, the potatoes are baked. I put them in a 400-degree oven, and it took about an hour and 15 minutes. And I've got some bacon here on the stove, and we'll be adding sour cream and butter and cheese and a few other herbs to these twice baked potatoes. So this is the first bake, and then I'll show you what they're going to look like before they go in the oven for the second bake. I'll get my stuff gathered up and we'll come back here and put these together. Now, whenever I make twice baked potatoes, I generally do make extras because they freeze really well and they go really good with a steak, and it just saves me time. I make a large batch. I enjoy them for that day's dinner, and then I pop the rest in the freezer, and boy, they're wonderful. It's a short notice side dish. Okay, so your baked potato needs to be baked until it's very soft, and then let it cool so you can handle it. You'll kind of get your own technique down about how to get this potato out without ripping the skin and ruining your shell. And these are a russet potato. And when I buy them, I try to get potatoes that are about the same size so that they will bake up evenly, at the same time in the oven. I hear that bacon. We better give it a stir. So yes, these are russet potatoes. And when you bake them up like this, the skin really holds the filling well. A Yukon Gold and those kind of thin-skinned potatoes are not going to work very well. Plus, a russet potato is very starchy. It's a little more dry, as you know. So, they just work well to add butter and cheese and bacon and all that good stuff. So, russet potatoes are the best choice. Well, they're the best choice, I think, for making a twice-baked potato. So these potatoes are still warm, which is good because it'll be easier to mix the butter and the sour cream in. You don't mix it until it's like mashed potato-y, or I don't anyway, but you have to get everything kind of incorporated. And now I don't use green onion because, like I said, I like to freeze. I'll be freezing more of these than we're going to eat tonight. So, and green onion just doesn't freeze well. It kind of turns black and slimy, and so I don't put the green onion in them when I make them, but green onion makes a beautiful garnish on this. And even though there's not green onion in the filling, I am going to add a little bit of onion powder. Whoop! I pitched that right through the window. Okay. My hands are a little bit slick. Okay, let's try that again. Even though I'm not going to use green onion, I will add a little onion powder because that's good umami flavor. And we don't want to miss out on a little onion in our potato. So, oh boy, this bacon is nearly done. I'm just going to turn the burner off. This splatter guard helps a lot, but it doesn't catch it all because, of course, you have to lift it to stir. Okay, where's that butter? There we go. It's going to look like a lot of butter, but I've got 4 very large potatoes here. So let's see, what do I want to use to mash? Let's just use a spoon to start with. And get this butter melting with this warm potatoes. So my plan for dinner tonight is I've got some lamb loin chops. So I'm going to sear up some lamb loin chops and serve these twice baked potatoes with them and maybe a little broccoli or something. Okay, about a teaspoon of salt. Lots of black pepper. We like lots of black pepper. I don't really want to add any of the cold ingredients until I get this butter melted and incorporated. And it's almost there. Give this bacon another stir. And that needs to come off of the burner. Okay, the butter is mixed in. Now we're going to use a generous amount of sour cream because we love sour cream. And this is my homemade sour cream. And I need to use it. This is starting to get a little age on it, so I'm going to be really generous with it. So it smells good already. Okay. And now for the flying onion powder. I'm not putting a lot in, like a half a teaspoon. A couple teaspoons of dehydrated red pepper. And a tablespoon of parsley. Okay, I'm going to put all of the Gruyere in. It's a really nice cheese. It's got kind of a strong, pungent flavor, but it melts really well. It's going to really be good in these potatoes. And of course, plenty of cheddar. I guess I could have used a slightly larger bowl. Oh, doesn't this look good? I mean, who wouldn't like this? And we're not done yet. We still got bacon to put in here. So, see if I can do this without making a mess. Okay. So by cooking like this in larger batches and freezing a portion of it for later and down the road, it's kind of like a homestead fast food. It's still good for you and it's still homemade. I'm going to taste this because we got to taste it. We have to season in layers, right? And I want to know if I need more salt in this. Wow. Well, you probably thought that I used too much sour cream, but I surely did not. That is so good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is fill each potato. I might have to come back and add more, but I don't want to overfill up front and then have to steal from Peter to pay Paul. So, like I said, I'll probably come back, but the first layer is going in, and I'm just going to kind of fill it to, just the edge of the potato. Look how pretty that is. So festive. And I did wash these potatoes, but, I scrubbed them really good because I think one of the best parts well, not the best part, but the skin on these twice baked potatoes is so yummy with this filling. So I like to eat it, and I want that skin scrubbed really good. I don't want any grit left behind. And you see how easy these are? I mean, yes, you got to grate the cheese and fry the onions and stuff. But if you do it in a larger batch like this, and then you've got a few in the freezer to use down the road, man, it's just a nice side dish to have, to be able to pull out of your freezer. It's all ready to go. Yeah, we've got plenty of filling. We're going to be able to really make these twice baked potatoes very full, and that's going to look beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put 2 in a dish for tonight's meal. And of course, it's already pre-cooked. All I'll be doing is heating them, warming them back up just before I start cooking my lamb chops. Okay, there's for tonight's dinner. Now let's go back. This guy is really needs some more. Now, when you pull these out of the freezer, down the road, when you need a little help getting dinner on the table, and you go to your freezer and there's those twice baked potatoes, and you're so thankful that you took the time to do this. Of course, they're rock solid, so if you have time to defrost them for a few hours, they'll bake up a little bit better. But as you know, if they're frozen when you're baking them, you need to bake them at a lower temperature and for a longer period of time. I think it's a good idea to get your temperature probe out and probe the potato to make sure you don't have a frozen center, because the outside may look done and the inside is still not warm, and that would be so disappointing. We're going to go put these in the freezer, and tomorrow morning I will food saver them, and I'll do them in individual packages. So if I have 3 people, I can just pull 3 out. There's a spot right there. They will sit just like that, uncovered in the freezer overnight, and then I'll food saver them.